Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and I am back once again talking about the pulse of crypto, PulseDRIP. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. So, the first thing I want to do before we dive right in is to give a shout out to Moonshot Max and Trap DeFi. So, last night on a Twitter Spaces, they gifted me some PDRIP. And guys, look, PDRIP is not cheap, right? It's $16.56 at the moment. It is not cheap, and it is a valuable asset. So for them to say, "Hey, we're going to gift you some PDRIP," and it was just kind of like their way of showing their appreciation for the brick that I'm trying to put in for the community, trying to crank out the content as far as PulseDRIP, and just continuing to network with the community. So I greatly appreciate the P-drip they gave me because little does Moonshot Max and Trap DeFi know I was kind of having a crappy day up until that point, right? I was working out, strained my shoulder, so I had to ice it. Then on the same day, it's kind of crazy. My garage door decides to break, so I ended up having to call a guy out to come to my house and fix my garage door. And the minute I got on that Twitter Spaces, everybody was just talking and vibing and having a good time, and it just kind of lifted my spirits, just kind of out the blue. They just gave me my props. They gifted me those, so I greatly appreciate their generosity. So, what else do we want to talk about? We want to continue to put people over who are putting out post-trip content. So for today, we want to acknowledge Crypto Activator. He is in the post-drip community as well. So if you have not looked at his videos, go look at his videos because his message may resonate better to others than mine does. So go look at his content. Mo Crypto is another one. He is into post-drip and pretty much excited about the project and kind of learning the ins and outs of it. So he's very good educational as well. Go look at his content. And Big Beauty, go ahead and give her a follow. She just recently got into post-strip and she'll be putting out post-strip content. But it's always good to hear a different perspective when you're talking about this ecosystem. So getting back to post-strip, we are currently sitting at a $16.56 price. What has happened? So we are now up to 662 faucets in counting. Right? When I did my first, like I mentioned before, when I did my first post drip video, I believe we were sitting at 521. So the amount of faucets that people are creating are continuing to grow. Now, for me, I think I'm number 305. I didn't initially start doing post trip videos, and then as I started to learn more and more about the ecosystem, I've been kind of cranking out the post trip videos. So this is good to know, right? We are sitting at 5 million in supply, which the majority of that is locked up in the faucet already. The circulating supply is only 7,942, which tells you any amount of momentum that we get in post trip could potentially spike this price, which is a game changer. So let's go back through kind of some of the basics of post trip. With post trip, you earn 1% per day up to 365 days, right? In order to get into P drip, there is a 10 P drip minimum, which will help keep the constant buy pressure because with post drip, you kind of have to earn it to get into this community, right? So with those taxes, you probably want to buy 12 so that you have that official number of 10, which is deposited into the faucet. And the total faucets will go up to 5,000, like we mentioned before. And you can generate up to 36,500 P drip as a max payout, right? And then you can compound your earnings and add up to 10K PDRIP tokens. So that's kind of how it will look once you reach that maximum point. So pretty much good to know there. But the more and more these faucets come off the shelf, the more and more that FOMO will kick in because people will understand the mechanics behind it, how cool this protocol is set up. So, what else do we want to know? With PulseDRIP, there are anti-whale mechanics. Excuse me, there are anti-whale mechanics, right? So faucets have a limit of 36,500. This will help keep the protocol sustainable. There's a 7-day reward accumulation cutoff to prevent inactive wallets from hoarding and selling off large rewards. Okay. So with this protocol, you need to be actively engaging, whether you're compounding on a daily basis, right? Or whether you have some sort of claim strategy where you compound for 5 days, you claim for 2 days. You need to be actively engaged with this protocol. And that's the message that we want to preach to keep this protocol sustainable. But it's nice that there's a cutoff because you will no longer get rewards if you don't do any actions after this 7-day cutoff, right? So it'll just stop moving rewards. So if you leave your wallet and come back, for a month, you'll see that your awards have stopped and they're not continuing to feed you those rewards, right? Anytime the max payout is reached, tokens cannot be added anymore. So that's important as well. And then here, when somebody makes a claim and withdraws tokens, the locked amount decreases by the withdrawn amount. So another metric just kind of put in to help PulseDRIP be sustainable. These safeguards help maintain the project's health while still allowing community support and growth for newer members. And again, a lot of thought process was put in place to make this protocol sustainable. So with our faucets, what do we know about our faucets? Our faucets, as I mentioned before, these are NFTs, which is really, really cool. These are NFTs which you can sell on postmarket.app, and you sell it for whatever PLS amount you want. And also, you can go on postmark.app and you can also buy a faucet. But the point is, let's say you have multiple wallets, or excuse me, you have multiple faucets and you want to sell one of your faucets because the value of PulseDRIP has skyrocketed and everybody wants one. You can, you can sell it for an insane amount and then reap the rewards of that. Or maybe if you've fallen on hard times and you said, hey, I want to sell my faucet, you can do that as well. And it does not create any sell pressure on the PulseDRIP token, which is a game changer. And then going back here, right? What else is put in place? So we have an LP pair in the with the PulseDRIP Garden. There's an LP pair, PDRIP, and PLS pair, in which you can stake there and earn PulseDRIP and PLS. And we have these single stakes here where you can deposit like your PulseDRIP or PDI, earn 1.5% per day. Now you will have to compound for 3 days in order to get one claim. So you can do a 3-1, or you can do 6 compounds to get 2, or you can do 9 compounds to get 3. But you have to be actively engaged with the contract, because if you're not actively engaged with the garden, the rewards, I believe, will cut off after 48 hours. So it is vital that you are pretty much every 24 hours coming in here and doing something. But baked into this protocol is buy pressure, because with the Garden, if you deposit, there is a 10% deposit fee. With that 10% deposit fee, 7% is used to buy back PDRIP. And then the other 3% is used to reward people who are staking in the Garden. With Claim, there is a 10% tax. With that 10% tax on the Claim piece of it, 3% is used to buy back PDRIP, and 7% is used as rewards. And then the 5% compound tax, that is basically, again, used for rewards. So in this protocol, it is baked into the contract to have PulseDRIP pretty much create that constant buy pressure. So what do we know about PulseChain? PulseChain is a new blockchain that has been out for a few months, and a lot of people will be looking for the next play and filtering over to PulseChain because, for most part, Binance Smart Chain has been pretty much established. People are kind of looking for those maximal gains. A lot of chatter about PulseChain, where there's a potential for this to run. So you can come here, stake your PLS. Now, your initial deposit will be locked in, and you will be able to get your rewards back through the claims process up to 300% APR yearly. So that's something that you need to look at, and you'll end up with more. So that is a game changer. There's an initiative with PDI, with a lot of people in the PDI community, to get this pegged to $1. So a lot of people are buying in at low prices, and some people are, they're deciding to stake in here, but this could be something that you consider. Whether you do half of your PDI or all of your PDI, that would be totally up to you what you put in here. But remember, what you put in here is locked into the contract, and you will be able to get those rewards back through claims. And you would have to compound for 3 days in order to be eligible for a claim. Or you can compound for 6 days and be eligible for 2 claims of rewards. Again, you'll be getting 1.5% daily. And then you can do maybe up to 9 consecutive compounds, and you'll be eligible for 3. So I hope that makes sense to you. But the future is bright with the development of PulseDRIP, because the thing that I noticed with PulseDRIP is the execution of Hustleman Matt and Eric. Hustleman Matt and Eric have been really, really quick, because the Garden initially started with just this one. And it's only been 17 days in the project, and I believe it was yesterday or the day before, they essentially got all these other staking options added and available, which is a game changer. So once this gets to rolling, once the Garden gets to rolling, this is going to be a monster. And with Hustleman Matt and Eric, they're easily accessible on Telegram. So there's back and forth dialogue with the dev to give suggestions. They don't necessarily shoo off our ideas. They take it under consideration, which is pretty nice to see a developer engage with the community, but also kind of working to make the ecosystem better. And again, like I mentioned with PulseDRIP, the way the mechanics are set up is set up to run, right? With the limit on the faucet count, 5,000 only. Now, will there be a potential to add more faucets? It is also baked into the contract to make a little bit of tweaks as far as this faucet count. So let's say we get to 5,000. Maybe Hustleman Matt says, no, we're not going to do anymore. There's not enough demand. Or, okay, there's enough demand. We will release 50 new faucets after 5,000, or we'll release 100 more. So I think it would be smart and strategic to kind of gauge the pulse of the demand, you know, as opposed to just like unleashing like an additional, you know, 10,000, 15,000 faucets. But that is something for the developer, Hustleman Matt and Eric to decide. They're more smarter than I am, so they'll they'll figure out the sweet spot. But we're looking pretty. It's been pretty consistent. We did have a run up to, I want to say, $19 a couple of days ago, and it's just been kind of just stabilized around $16. Like, imagine this stabilizing for $16.71, like for a year, for 2 years, or just stabilizing, right? Between $10 and $20, let's say, for example, right? This could be a big deal. And one other thing, I think there is, I want to say, some additional things in the works with this LP, whether there'll be another staking option for this PDRIP LP or some other functionality. I'm not sure what this will be, but there will be some value in this LP pair. So that's pretty much all I have today. Again, wanted to give a shout out to Moonshot Max, my guy Trap DeFi, but also we wanted to put over more, and I'll continue to do this. We'll continue to put over more and more people who are engaged in the PulseDrip community that are putting out content. So Crypto Activator, Mo Crypto, and Money Motivation. And in the YouTube description, I will leave the Telegram link if you want to kind of gauge the temperature of the room, get in there and chat with everybody about PulseDrip. Feel free to do so. In the YouTube description, I'll also have instructions on how to buy PulseDrip. But again, if you have any additional questions, you can go to Telegram, use that link, and they will answer your questions about getting into PDRIP. So that's pretty much all I have today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by.